Welcome to the second episode of the Aoshima RX-7 build. In this part we will work on the interior of the car and fix the fuel tank on the bottom part from the previous episode. We started working on a custom hydraulic e-brake. Since this car will be used in a drift diorama, I thought it would be fun to add one. I used the dimensions of this e-brake that I found on Amazon and scaled them down to 1/24. We start with the side brackets that hold the lever, which we glued to the base plate, which was only a few millimeters wide. I then used my Dremel to thin down this piece of ply tube to make it fit within the brackets to act as the handbrake itself. With some Tamiya super thin, we glued the two parts together and tried to remove the seam line by using clamps. And here's the finished e-brake mounted to the interior. I also added a little fuel pump on the back. I used some mr.hobby 500 surfacer and stippled it on with a brush to create a texture effect to resemble the fiber texture some seats have. I also fill and remove the ejection pin marks with some milliput. I do this to create a smooth back surface, since I will be applying a carbon fiber decal to create a carbon bucket like seat. I then move on to painting the seats a red and black color and the rest of the interior parts flat black. Here you see the painted and dry brush fuel tank that I made in the last part with some milliput. We then apply the dashboard decals into the dashboard. I used some PFA glue to create a glass effect, but that didn't turn out quite the way I hoped. It fogged up and wasn't fully clear. Next time I need to use something else. I used some Tamiya masking tape to mask off the back of the seat to create a template which I used to cut the carbon decal to size. I then used Mr. Mark's software to smoothen the decal over the surface. This could have been done better if I wasn't so impatient, but I was fine with the results nonetheless. This process takes time as you need to go back and forth over it, and you also might want to cut a decal a bit to make the corners flat and smooth. Once the decal is smooth, I put on 5 or 6 wet layers of clear coat. I let that coat dry for 2 or 3 days. I then proceed to wet sand the gloss down to a smooth finish. I start with a 600 grit and move up to 1000, 1500 and 3000, and then finish off with a 6000 polishing pad. Then I use some Tamiya polishing compound finish to polish the gloss back into the clear coat. I use my Dremel stylo with a cotton polishing cloth. Once that's done, I use some black acrylic paint from Tamiya to fix some mistakes and cracks I made in the decal. I also correct some of the red parts. Then finally, I use some super glue to glue the seats into the body and it's done. Here are the results.